The London documentary, Blues in Greys.
Police have been tipped off that drugs are being sold to children. This raid is one of many now being made by the police from GRAYS in Essex. The frequency of the raids carried out by the force is having an impact way beyond the borough of Thurrock or even the county of Essex. This time they find young teenagers and £300 worth of cannabis. Only one will be cautioned for possession.
These search issued on the Misuse of the Drug Act 1971. A copy of that there for you, and also a book which outlines your rights.
These tough anti-crime initiatives are praised by politicians, copied by other police forces, and feared by criminals.
How much have you found?
£200 in notes there in a drawer. A gun, don't know what type it is. It's got a 2200 Magnum. Looks like an air gun, but we'll take possession of it. And a chopper down the side of the bed. Obviously a little bit worried about who comes in during the night.
There are a lot of people that are scared now of dealing drugs in the Thurrock area, and rightly so. Because if they're dealing, then obviously we're going to be looking at them, and we will catch up with them. There's a lot of people that are running scared out there at the moment.
For 2 years, police here have hammered out one simple message to criminals: keep out of Thurrock.
We're trying to persuade the villains that they're not safe in this town, that this is not the place to be. We're trying to persuade the people who we serve, in effect, that we have got the ability to protect them and to look after them and their houses and their families.
Good morning, Grays Police Control.
Thurrock Police, with their headquarters in Grays, have achieved a dramatic turnaround since December 1993. They now detect 1 in every 2 crimes committed, which is twice the national average.
Foxtrot Romeo 1 are at Feening Highway at a burglary. Request your presence. Can you give us an ETA, please?
They solve 68% of burglaries, up 5 times in under 2 years, and 44% of auto crime, up 4 times. Their results are envied by forces all over Britain.
Channel 2121 with uniform 64, please.
Yet Thurrock grew up as an East End overspill area. It's close to London and the M25 motorway, which provides an escape route for commuters and criminals. Nor is it affluent. Council estates outnumber private, and the biggest shopping centre in Europe has become a magnet for criminals.
Lakeside's bought credit card fraud and shoplifting, thefts of cars, that sort of thing, in quantities that we'd never experienced before. There is a lot of domestic burglary. There's a lot of petty, mindless vandalism. There's a lot of uncivilised behaviour, if you like, that reduces other people's standard of living, other people's quality of life.
Hello, Mr. Dixon.
PC Mick Battersby, like all officers in Grays, has been told his main duty is to detect crime.
Oh, come in.
Hello there.
Come in.
Right. Is it the
Yes,
door there that's been
yes, we just come in about before 12:30. We found we couldn't. The door was open, half open, because my wife locked it before she went out.
Right.
And I said, "You didn't lock the door." She said, "I did lock the door, and you can tell because it's still on the catch, you see."
Gotcha.
And all we know, they've been through here and they've been in the bedroom.
Right. Sorry. Was the outer door, was that locked?
2 years ago, senior officers at Grays decided the community had lived in fear of crime for too long. It was time, they resolved, for criminals to be
Are you
afraid.
sure there's no one still here? You've had a good look round.
That's her up there.
So as far as you're concerned at the moment, they've only been in here?
Yes, only been in here. As far as I can tell, I've been in my bureau. I've looked in there, there's nothing wrong there. It certainly was a shock to my wife because she's lost something which she valued very greatly. It wasn't a great value, monetary value, but value to her.
What have you lost?
It's a gold locket with a picture of her sister on there who died some years ago. It was a family thing. And it's a shock to her.
Right, you're 100% sure they haven't got any other checkbooks or cards?
No, I'm a methodical man. So what I do, when I get a checkbook come, I put a number on the date I got it. 456, that's the one that came yesterday. And that's the one I'm using.
Right.
And I know they haven't, I know. No.
To cut crime, all officers were encouraged to provide intelligence about active criminals and highlight vulnerable areas. These were then targeted.
To the French
Instead of responding to burglaries, processing it through, dealing with the victims of burglaries, making inquiries and on occasions locking folks up for it, only to see them released on bail and walk away again. We've gone out and put into place some operations. We've drawn a lot of warrants. We've actually tried to instill a fear into the people that are committing a crime against the residents of this town.
When they strike in numbers all over the division. These high-profile operations, where up to 100 criminals may be targeted, take place about every 2 months. Other forces may use similar tactics, but what's unusual is the unrelenting nature of their drive against crime. Just this year, they've executed 350 warrants during their operations.
Police officers! Stand still, don't move. Police officers. You, what's your name? Come here. On the floor. Down, 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 down. Face forward. Roll them over. Hands behind your back. Now, move! Okay, what you got in your hand? So what you got in here? Okay. Just leave it there, okay?
Keep still, one second.
Police have been tipped off that there's a gun in these premises.
Stay there.
The room's clear.
Got anything on you?
No. Just roll towards me. Roll towards me. Okay, it's the loose you're going to get. Right, put it on then. I'll lock it. Let's go this way, please. Okay. And I ask what this is about.
If you have a warrant here to search your premises, under Section 46 of the Firearms Act, we believe there may be a firearms on this premises.
Is there a firearm in these premises?
No.
Can someone loosen them cuffs?
You just keep still. If you move, then they'll get tighter. Okay, I have double locked them so they won't won't pinch your hands. Just keep still. The more you move your back, the more it's going to hurt.
They take the flat apart, but don't find a gun. Instead, the suspect is arrested, accused of handling stolen goods. Before operations can start, officers spend days collecting intelligence. They watch and wait as ordinary people go about their business. The hours pass, but the targeted drug dealer and his supplier don't turn up.
Yeah, we've got a white convertible, Escort convertible on the plot. Hotel Charlie.
Charlie.
Picked Hotel Charlie, yeah?
Window.
Neighbourhood beat officers like Glenn Westley and Mark Hayter are encouraged to keep an eye on known criminals and to come up with their own plans to cut or prevent crime.
Yeah. Okay. Gain my customer earlier. Oh, mate. Let's go over there, shall we? Yeah.
They visit refugees who, having escaped from war-ravaged Bosnia, are now being tormented by a small group of youths in South Ockenden.
Ista je to grupa. Ista grupa, samo jedan se pojavljiva novi iz Ejove.
He said they first sitting on this wall and they just sitting, and because he leave them like alone, he doesn't do anything, and they try to do bad things.
I nešto govore što ja ne razumijem.
They talk something but he doesn't understand, and he doesn't give him any talk because he doesn't know English.
Danas je donio...
The youths are demanding money and cigarettes.
Nosi batinu od željeza i kaže da će mene tući ako mu ne dam cigaretu.
Today come around with bigger stick and they said they will beat him till he give to them cigarette.
Svaki dan.
It's every day.
They're asking for money or cigarettes?
Traže pare, traže cigarete.
They ask him money and cigarette, and he's the one worried because I said before.
Well, from what they were saying back there, obviously through him here, that we seem to have a common denominator in the nuisance that these people are suffering. Not necessarily do we have evidence against this young lad, but his name's cropping up. We have a word with him, see what he's got to say about it. Obviously, he's implicated in the nuisance. We therefore give him a warning, you know, that if he does commit offences, he's liable to arrest, etc., and proceeding. If his name keeps cropping up, then obviously we're in a position then, hopefully the evidence will appear and we can actually prosecute him.
What now?
We just want to have a word with you, if that's all right. We won't keep you on a couple of minutes.
You love us, really.
Oh, don't.
You do, you liar.
You start like nobody here.
The suspected ringleader isn't around.
Yeah.
OK. We've been to see some people down the road and his name keeps cropping up in terms of giving them a bit of harassment, quite a bit of lip and everything else. He's making their life a misery. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bosnian people live down the road. Has got a particular problem with the Bosnians, and I'm not saying this isn't just a one-off. You know, his name's come up a few times now.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Has he not come home and said anything to you, like, you know, Mum, the Bosnians are annoying me, or
No.
nothing like that at all?
No, every time that I see him round the man downstairs,
Yeah.
I tell him to stay away from him and everything else.
Right. It's got to the stage now there's glass being thrown at these people and stuff like that. Now, you know as well as I the reason why they're here. Yeah, they've come from a country that's been destroyed by war. They've been in concentration camps and everything. The last thing they really need is anyone else sort of bombarding them with bricks and stones and having people gut their door and ask them for money and all sorts, yeah? We're going to see if we'll have a word with him. But just sort of give him the warning for now, OK? We don't have to keep coming back and chasing him. And obviously, if offences do come to light, then he's going to get into trouble with it.
Right.
You know, and you know, he's been in the police station more than once in his life already.
Yeah, I know that.
All right? OK, then we'll leave it at that then for now. You'll see him, you may well see him before I do, so just let him know. I mean, I was only round here last night, wasn't I? We're just here to talk to you about what's going on down the road tonight with the Bosnian people, yeah?
By chance, they find him outside.
You know what we're talking about, don't you?
Yeah, I ain't done that.
You ain't done well.
You're always with the people that are there, aren't you? Yeah, and every time we speak to someone, your name keeps popping up all the time. Yeah?
People ain't going to lie to us, are they? I mean, why is it your name keeps coming up, eh?
It wasn't dead there, so that I kept making them follow me.
You make them
mates,
follow?
yeah.
Right, well, you know, we know what's going on, you know what's going on, OK? We realise you're getting people to maybe do your dirty work for you. But just for now, take it as a bit of a warning, all right? There's been glass thrown at those people tonight, OK? You may say you don't know nothing about it, all well and good. But obviously, if you're going to cross a certain line, you're just going to start getting in trouble. All right?
I arranged it for 11 o'clock, so I think the ferry's just about to leave, so he should be on that one. I think he's got some good stuff for us today.
Two officers are waiting for a trusted informant who lives across the Thames. His information will be used during the next operation.
Morning, Dave.
You all right?
Yeah, thanks for meeting me. All right. Right, I've got two bits of information for you. On Monday evening, just gone, he had 2 9-ounce bars inside the flat that he was showing us.
2 9-ounce bars? How long's he been dealing?
Well, he's not been dealing very long, because I've known him quite a while, and I've never known him deal before. I know exactly where his hide is, his stash is. It's in, there's a bottom panel on the gas cooker in the kitchen. And he puts the tin inside the top of it, and the majority part of it is inside the cupboard directly to the left of the cooker.
What is he dealing in then?
Mainly cannabis resin that I know
Cannabis.
of. Yeah, they're both just mainly cannabis. The main trouble you've got around here at the moment is that there's been so many things, like the recent operation is that people are scared to get anything, like amphetamines or stuff like that, you know, trips, anything like that. There's not very much of that around at the moment.
They're frightened to hold?
Yeah.
Right. Shore School, grounds of.
Probably still at Lakeside.
You reckon?
PC Glenn Wesley and his partner are again looking for the youth they suspect is involved in attacks on the Bosnian community.
There's Lorraine walking down this way now. Yeah.
You seen him at all, Lorraine? No? Cheers.
Oh, she shook her head. She got an answer.
This time, the youth is alleged to have punched a girl in the face.
There he is. He's going over the wall. Please drive round.
Yeah?
Get down off the walk, please. Why? I just want to have a word with you. What? I want to have a word with you.
Why?
Can you get down, please? Yeah? You gonna get down? Yeah. Good. All right, Glenn.
Very quickly, mate. You've been arrested on suspicion of cause actual bodily harm. You're not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so, but what you say may be given evidence. Understand? Yeah. Let's go.
Get the fuck!
Behave yourself.
Get the fuck!
Come on, Glenn. Come on, Glenn.
Yeah? You fucking cut off!
All right, get up, Glenn. Up, Glenn.
Off me off.
You're not doing yourself any favours, are you?
Right. You're going to move your arms slowly round, right?
The purpose of today is to arrest some people who are responsible for deceiving a 75-year-old man of over £50,000. It's a usual scam where they've had the old chap over and they've literally tarmacked an area smaller than this office and charged him over £50,000 for the privilege. A number of building society checks have been drawn. The purpose of today is to go down and set a little honey trap for the people responsible.
Phil? It's the DI, Tim. How you getting on? Yeah, we got people in the premises, people outside on the plot, and we're ready just to follow in when the targets show up.
£50,000 has been traced to building society accounts. £37,000 has already been withdrawn. Detectives are waiting for the people who've arranged to collect the rest of the money.
Gently, gently, gently. That does, that does.
We are on record, aren't we?
Yeah.
On there.
Come on, Huddy. Come on, darling. Just budge it back a little bit, John. With a bit of luck, we'll hit the lights right as well.
Building society staff and the police officers think they've spotted their targets, but it's a false alarm.
All units cancel that. Cancel. Suspect is not listed as target.
We're into the boring part of these jobs in as much as we've just gone past the deadline of her appointment, which was 9:30. Somewhere along the line, I've got to make the decision, to call the job off.
Yeah, we've got three people. Making their way to the front of the shop. One's a big fat woman, another guy.
Yes, yes, keep the updates coming, Huddy.
Yeah, they're coming to the front of the shop now.
It's got to be them.
Johnny, can you start making your way?
Yes, yes. Anyone still in the vehicle?
Negative, negative. Not that you see, it's a van.
Right. All three are now in the premises.
Are we definite ID'd, Huddy?
Yes, yes. These are they.
Right, move up. Yeah, we're coming up to the precinct.
Yes.
Time.
They're in the queue now.
Watch the lights.
Go in now and stop short.
Yeah. Just pull forward up there.
Yeah, they're at the front of the queue now. Next available cashier will be them.
Give him a shout, give him a shout.
Excuse me, officer. Excuse me a minute. I'm D.I. Berman. We've got an operation going on in the town centre. Can you walk this way with me? 2 seconds. It's all right, mate. Going to a rental. Yeah. You could just give me 2 minutes. We've got a block going right down. We're from GRAYS, all right? Just give me 5 minutes. Yeah, sure. Good fella.
Coming close?
I must give up running. Come on, honey.
The suspects have been told they'll have to go upstairs to count such a large sum of money. Instead of a pile of money, a detective is waiting.
Gently, gently, gently. Well, got to go up here. That'll do. Lovely, let's get up there. Come on, those kids. That'll do us. Right. Thank you very much. Take the gentleman here. Take him to one side. Take him out the back.
3 people are arrested, but later that day, police discover this man is not implicated in the alleged deception in any way. But 2 people, including the woman sandwiched between the Building Society employee and detective, may face charges of handling stolen goods.
Around here. Cars round here have been driving around in a reckless manner. Yeah? Does that ring any bells with anyone?
Complaints about your 2 cars and up and down here with people.
Whose car's there?
Yes, yes.
PC's Paul Restorick and Mick Battersby have responded to calls from residents worried that this stretch of road is being used as a racetrack.
Yeah, received. Much obliged.
Voila! All comes down all right. Right, you'll have down.
They check the ownership of the cars and discover one car has previously been declared unfit to drive.
See, the thing is, it's still shown on our computers as being a prohibition order on it. So...
Look up sort it all out, make sure there's no Sharpie, like danger bits.
What I'll do is I'll make inquiries with the officer at Tilbury Traffic Concern. I'll let you know. Don't drive it again until I get in touch with you and let you know. All right? Don't use it on the road, leave it at home. Because if you are still in the breach of the prohibition order, then you're committing offences and you get yourself in trouble. You don't want that, do you? OK, mate? Take care, then.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
See you later, mate.
Just 24 hours before Operation Thunderchild, the latest crackdown on crime in Thurrock.
Every single major job we've had, we've got guns back on. I think the last one, Graham Carter, was a loaded shotgun lying by the guy's bed. You people, when you effect entry, I'll say it again tomorrow, lots of noise, and let them know who you are. There are raid caps if you want to wear them, and there is vests if you need them.
The tough anti-crime drive has the support of the Labour Council and seemingly of residents, but there are costs.
As you know, we have been causing damage to gain entry for our own security and also for drugs. We need to examine that. If there is an alternative member, let's put in the kitchen window rather than 1,800 quid's worth of front door, which does worry headquarters and is a very expensive exercise, let's not doubt it. On a serious note, last time the council ran out of replacement doors, if you remember. Let's keep the damage cost to a minimum this time. Second day, because we like to think that our bad guys out there are running a little bit frightened of us, as we know they are, and they've got a bit of fear of crime, the second day, they will be expecting us probably to come at 6 AM again, as we've done in the past. So this time, we thought we'd keep them on the hop. We're going to go at 4 o'clock briefing here, hopefully, primarily then to take out the street drugs dealers. The impression I want to give the bad guys is Thurrock is swamped with old Bill. That's what they've got to think, and we will do.
At the Lakeside Shopping Centre, security guards have found a youth inside a car he doesn't own. The police will have to decide whether the youth is responsible for several thefts or is totally innocent.
Stolen. I was with him when he bought off the car front, you know what I mean? I don't need all use right round me.
He says he's recently been in a serious car accident, but little else.
Yeah, car accident. Whereabouts? Sheerness.
Did you? What, your passenger, were you?
Yeah. Huh?
What's your cushion name?
I know. Yeah, no, I was in the back asleep.
What's your cushion name?
I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks.
You can tell us what your name is?
No. What? Yeah, what are you doing pushing me anyway? The car ain't nicked all right. Fuck's sake. I told the car care, not me. Just like you like saying, oh, that car's nicked, this will go rep round that.
You're not even going to tell me your name? Why not?
So I ain't done nothing to tell you nothing, alright, that's why.
What about your mate's name, the guy who owns this car?
I ain't have to tell you nothing at all.
No?
No.
Alright, that's fair enough.
Yeah, what are you doing in the car? You said you couldn't look in the car anyway. That ain't in there for you anyway. You're a policeman. Well then, you flying? You can't look up to the legs, go look in your car then. No, if I go fast, get a fit, mate, it's all down to you, I'm telling you. That's what I suffered with, alright? Reason to look in my own mate's car, ain't it? Is it your car, is it? To look in? Well then, don't look in it, alright?
You won't tell me your own, do you?
Do I have to tell you nothing?
I'm asking you.
Well then.
Do you understand what I've just said?
Yeah, I know what I'm saying, yeah, under arrest for a car that's even been bought for £1,000 odd.
Come with me then.
Yeah, don't bother with that. Anyway, £120 jacket, you know what I mean?
Good, come on, hold your hands out.
Stop holding your hands out.
Look, you're going to the police car, you've got to put my hands out.
Bother touching me, don't show me up in front of people, right? I can't be
Nobody's showing up, except you, mate. What are you doing? I'm sorry.
I've done it, I swear, mate. I have brain damage, it's all damn true, I swear.
You've got a register anyway.
Well, I ain't got nothing, alright, for fucking hell, mate, I swear. But that's why I have to say what I want, alright?
You're getting it correct, additional.
Get me out.
So why was he arrested for?
He was actually seen by the security guards to be sitting in the vehicle. If you have a look at the vehicle round on this side, you can see the lock has actually been tampered with, it's been punched in. He was seen to be fiddling with the radio cassette when he was in there as well. That combined with the fact he won't tell us who he is, he won't tell us who owns the car, even though he says it's a friend of his, and when we did checks on it, it comes down to a company vehicle, of which we cannot trace a telephone number to get in touch with them at the moment. Gives me the suspicion that he was actually trying to either steal the car or steal the cassette radio from the car. So, for the meantime, we've arrested him, we're going to take him, we're going to do some inquiries, see if we can trace the owner and find out exactly what's happened.
Right, Stephen?
He eventually gave his name, and the woman who drove the car phoned to say he was a friend. This incident had taken 2 police officers off the road for 3 hours while they checked his story.
To anyone else in respect of that. So at present we don't have any evidence of any offences having been committed. Okay? So at this stage no action's been taken against you and your charge against you is refused.
Okay? What's happened to me now? I'm going to get home.
Well,
I'm in the middle of nowhere now. I don't know where I am.
in the middle of GRAYS.
Yeah, but I don't know where GRAYS are. I don't live around here. First time I've been here.
We'll sort that out for you after. Sign it to say you've had your property back.
081
Yeah.
503.
Okay, do you understand what's happened then?
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah.
At present we haven't got any evidence. So that's where you're going. All right?
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah, but if he does anything else, it's nothing to do with me though, is it?
Well, no.
That's what I mean.
Unless you're implicated in any way, then no, it isn't.
If I was involved in something, yeah, it'd be a different thing.
Well, yeah, it's right.
No longer under any suspicion, he is released.
So that's where you're being released. Okay. Well, you go,
Yes, where do I go now, Gov?
well, there's the officer show you around.
Yeah, but I don't have to get home on names.
What we'll do is, Steve, we'll take you round to the front counter, mate. If you take a seat there, then what we'll do is we'll sort out how we're going to get you home.
6 o'clock in the morning and the start of Operation Thunderchild.
The backup bombers. Soon, quick, have access to it.
Good morning, ladies and gents. Just a few words of welcome from me, and then we'll hand over to GI Berman for your formal briefing. As you know, this division has seen some consistently high detection rates over quite a long period of time, and that's all due to commitment and dedication by the team here at Thurrock. Today's operation is based on carefully put together intelligence on crime matters, drugs, and a new element this morning, our key operational goals on the traffic front as well. So we're going to hit the three angles this morning: crime, drugs and traffic.
10 police teams will strike simultaneously, so drugs, stolen goods and possibly weapons can be seized before news of the latest operation spreads. This team have been warned that their first target may have a gun. There's a reinforced door.
Police officer with a warrant, stay where you are! Clear! Move upstairs now!
All right, we'll just have the... Yeah, all right. Yeah, yes, it's going.
One officer is detailed to search in the dog's kennel. The police don't find a gun, but do seize a stolen van and tablets they believe are controlled drugs.
That's a good girl. That's better, isn't it, eh? It's better than chew me arm. Here you go. That's a good girl. No. Come on. In you come. Come on. In. Get in. In. Get out. Move. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Have some lights. Have some lights.
Again, the police are looking for a firearm.
As I said, in a minute.
Anyway.
Where's that Jason?
Where's the warrant? What are you doing?
Jason!
Yeah, all right, I'm on my way.
Come and do the business now.
Is there a gun here?
No, nothing here. There's nothing illegal here at all. You're wasting your bloody time. You think you can do this, do you, while we're on bail?
Carry on getting dressed, mate.
I don't need to get dressed.
No, him. Carry on getting dressed.
The suspect is a registered addict. Tragically, 7 days after this raid, the 3-year-old daughter accidentally swallowed some prescribed methadone and later died. On the day itself, the police discover something they suspect is not on prescription.
Have you found anything?
Yeah, I found a very small quantity of amphetamine sulfate, commonly known as whiz. It's in this little wrap here. I don't really open it up because it will probably fall over the floor. It was situated in this little brown leather pouch here on the side. Just continuing a further search, see if we can find anything else really.
When they raided this flat in December, they found a shotgun in this communal loft. But not this time.
You want a mouse?
You smashed my front door in. This warrant was issued on the 8th.
Yeah.
Anybody with a little bit of common sense could have looked on the electrical register and found out he lived next door to me. You come round here, you come round mine at 10 o'clock one night, the same thing, and we said to you, he's next door. Luck out you didn't smash it in that time.
I appreciate what you're saying, but if you get hold of the duty inspector, Grays, it'll be sorted out.
All be sorted out?
Yeah.
It will be. It will be sorted out. Yeah. It's a joke. You've got an electric register over here. You could have looked on it and found my next door neighbour, and not me. I'm getting fed up with it.
I told you what to do. If you do it, it'll get done. Today.
Well, I tell you what, it better be done today, because I'm getting sick and tired of this.
Well, do it. You're wasting time. Do it. Okay, then. Thanks indeed.
And if you want to come round afterwards, you're more than welcome.
Thanks.
A warrant has been obtained to search a garage.
If you can do that. I tell you what, I'm going to complain. This is full time they've been back.
Whose is all this stuff here?
You say it's all junk. Whose is all this stuff here?
That's
No.
kids' sweets. My husband gets them. It's all illegal. He works for a warehouse.
No doubt it's all illegal. We've got a warrant for this garage.
But someone must have reported it.
Well, of course.
Well, why aren't you telling me who it is then?
Well, because I don't know. In any
Someone
event,
must have told you.
In any event, there's clearly no car here, but I'm not happy about all this property. These boxes of sweets and all those toys and batteries. You said when we first arrived, let me finish please, you said when we first arrived,
it's junk.
That it is junk.
Well,
I don't consider that to be junk, nor indeed all that lot up there.
It's all above board. He wouldn't do nothing illegal. It's not like that, my husband. I mean, he's got a good job, 8 years. Why would he go there nicking?
Well...
No, come on, be honest. Why would you?
People do. I don't want to get into an argument with you.
No, I'm not getting an argument. Why?
Why
have you got a good job? Why would he do it? He's got a mortgage to worry about.
People do.
I mean, it's not as if
people with very good jobs commit crime.
Well, I've never known him to do it, I'll be honest. I mean, he looks after me, he looks after the kids.
Do you know what's in there?
Not really, I don't know, but I mean, he don't, Nick.
That's an awful lot of Twixers in there for 3 children.
But I mean, it's all above board. He'll tell you when he comes. There he is. There's a warrant here. They think you nicked all that stuff in there. That's what they're saying.
The husband is cautioned about his rights.
What I've got to say to you is caution you, so you're not obliged to say anything unless you wish to. What you do say may be given evidence.
Yeah, fair
You're
enough.
under arrest on suspicion of handling stolen
Get in there,
goods
'cause it's
at this
raining.
time.
You go in now.
Like I say, it's suspicion of handling stolen goods at this time.
Can I ask what goods we're talking about?
Items in the back of the garage there.
Well, there's nothing in here stolen. I mean,
For the moment we suspect they're stolen goods.
what goods are we talking about, boys?
Sweets, CD, bits and pieces.
The only thing that I've got a little bit of doubt, you know, to how you want to take it is the sweets, right? Everything else, I can guarantee, I'll give you my kids' lives. Right?
No, don't say
There's
that.
nothing else there.
Don't say that.
Well, don't, because it's true. I wouldn't say it otherwise, right?
If I had £1 for every time anyone would have said that to
Well,
me,
maybe
I
you've
wouldn't
heard it
be
a
in the
million
job
times, but I wouldn't say it, Mark. Right?
Well, people do say it,
Yeah,
and then they later admit that they were lying.
All you've got to worry about, if you want to take the sweets away, is that, and that's that there. Anything else in here, if you want to take it, you can, but it's nothing to do with that.
In any event, we're not going to carry on conducting this discussion here. You've been arrested on suspicion of handling this stuff. We suspect it to be stolen, and we suspect that you are handling it. All right, that gives us grounds to arrest you, and that's been
That's
done.
fair enough,
all right?
yeah.
So we're going to take this property, seize it as suspected stolen items. We'll make the inquiries, you'll be interviewed, and that's how the process will go.
Fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Suspected stolen goods and drugs are being seized across Thurrock, but so far, no gun. Yet the police have found at least one on every major operation in the last 2 years. They're determined not to fail this time. On the first day, Operation Thunderchild continues way into the night.
We executed 20 warrants, 15 prisoners. If you look at some of the stuff we've taken possession of here, the confectionery we believe is stolen, and we'll look to possibly charge someone with handling of that today. The Ray-Ban sunglasses we believe have possibly come from a burglar at Morden. The cannabis plants, so a little forest in the corner there, they're quite nice, and obviously got cultivating cannabis. The weapons, these weapons here are pretty offensive, and I'm glad we've taken them off the street. An array of stolen goods over the back, some drugs here, we're not sure where they're from, but we need to look at that. What is really interesting and I'm pleased about is the drugs that we've got back from one address. This we believe is amphetamine. This we believe is heroin. Got to test it yet, but if it is, the drug squad tell me that's £15,000 worth of gear there. Over £5,500 in cash that was in the guy's freezer.
Freezer?
Yeah, most people keep it in the bank account. In this little kiddie's doll thing here, teddy bear, we've got what is probably heroin again. And quite interesting is the Pepsi can, which when you open it up is full of what probably are E's tabs. So all in all, I think it's a good day's work, and we've gone a little way to trying to clean up Thurrock and stop the drug dealers, yeah.
Day 2 of Operation Thunderchild, and the main problem for the organising team is finding cells for the prisoners.
Can someone ring Brentwood? Have we got any space downstairs?
Ring over to see if you've got a custody sergeant and any space in the cells over there. cookie on duty? Have you got any prisoners in at all? None?
Yeah, well, Tilbury would be good. It's closer. What about if those two come in for the burglary?
For the first time, Thurrock Police have also set up what they call a ring of steel around Thurrock, surprise checkpoints to catch any motoring offences. They visited the City of London Police to learn from their techniques. Besides detecting numerous offences such as driving without a licence or insurance or unsafe cars, they also stop a stolen van. A detective is attached to each uniform team in case other inquiries arise.
Where was that delivered to then?
Up at 39 Paul House.
Normally raids are done first thing in the morning. But the last time we did one of these operations, we decided we'd do one late on in the evening, or late in the afternoon, early evening, especially on a Friday, which is why we've done it now.
And how do you think this experiment's worked?
Well, look, the feedback we're getting is very, very good. Everyone's talking about it on the streets, which is what we wanted. And despite the feeling that we had that people would be frightened to hold on to drugs, they still are, but it's the quantities have gone down.
Now, it's not just what you find, presumably, it's the effect it's having on the crime rate.
Yes. Interesting enough, the shift inspector is actually, that's on duty at the moment, has said everything is died out, it's very quiet. And we can only put that down to, that's the response that we're getting from the public out there. From the criminal fraternity anyway. Everyone's keeping their heads down and keeping it out of the way.
What we're saying is me, two teams, like Huddies and Parkers, to the house.
Yes.
Because we've got the possibility of a handgun and two shotguns.
And you've also got a couple back of the house.
And it is a maze. And we
so
don't
you've got the front and rear.
Right, yeah, I can do that. And I'll do that. I'll brief on the plot.
Yeah.
Hadley and his team go to the yard, secure the yard because there's a gun in a caravan. All right. Kevin will take his team down to Pizzazz. If the guy's there, they'll take him off. All right, and notify me, and I'll do the house anyway.
Yes.
If he isn't there, I've got to do the house anyway.
Yes.
And I'll go in with the boys.
Then
secure the weapons. If I get the weapons, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
We keep our manpower back here that we've not deployed in that way.
Yeah.
And as soon as we're home and dry, we can dispatch them down to bolster up on searching.
Late at night, there's a breakthrough. They're given detailed information about a number of guns. They will arrest the suspect at a nightclub before starting their searches. For the police, these rigorous measures have proved their worth. Every prisoner is a potential informant, and criminals are uncomfortable, never knowing whom to trust.
What we've had is a slight break in regards to firearms, which we hope will prove fruitful. In the garage of the Maisonette, in a snap-on tools box, red one, is a handgun. It's described, and from the description it sounds like a 9mm Browning. It is a real gun, and there's live ammunition, and the information is it's there, and was there very recently. Also, there's a yard in Tilbury, scrapyard. In that scrapyard, there is an office, and in the office is a sawn-off shotgun.
A very accurate assessment has been made tonight before we decided on mounting this operation. You all know that under certain circumstances we'd have the firearms group down and we'd do other things. We have made an accurate assessment. The fact is that the man and the weapon are not in the same place. If the man's at the house, he hasn't got direct access to his garage, which is where the weapon is, and there's nobody at the yard. So whilst we're talking about firearms, I want to put everybody's mind at rest that you, as far as the assessment is concerned, have all been very carefully considered, and this operation is a result of those decisions. Has anybody got any problems with that? No, I'm staying here, but that's not relevant still.
Listen in there. Joe, I don't care who's got it. I want a set of body armour, because I'm going through the door with you. Right, unlike the boss who's standing here.
Billy, this better be the right address, Billy.
As you go into those block of flats there, on the right-hand side, there's 2 or 3 flats, masonettes. with like a Kentucky door with a fan-like thing. As soon as we get the Often in pizzazz, the team will come up, you'll left from behind. We'll go up, straight in, through the door. Okay, just walk. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on.
Although the suspect has just been arrested, they can't guarantee the house is empty.
Right, this one. Do it.
Police officers! Police officers, stand still! Clear! Clear! Room secure! Baby's room clear!
Put it on here.
Main bedroom clear!
All right.
Okay. Lock. The search, mate. Who's got the search, mate?
GI Berman Control.
Relay message. Who's got the search, mate?
Yeah, we're letting the level 42, level 2 to go on to the yard. It's all clear here. We'll start our search.
Right.
Not with me. Well, they should be on a thing, shouldn't they? Take it out. Take the whole box in.
Some cartridges are found, but there's no sign of a shotgun.
Not too much damage, sir. I've got it to lock it. Get to the back. Where do you want to go, David? I'll get lights in here as well. Do the stereo. Turn that tap on. That should be, you described it as being at the back here. There it is. And that's going to be there's the gun.
The accuracy of their information is remarkable.
Yeah, it looks like a 9mm.
It's a Browning, 9mm.
Can you read the serial number? No. It's bang on. What I need is, I need a bag. As soon as he's made it safe, I want a bag.
Or not.
Spence, as soon as he's made safe, I want a bag to put it in.
Was there any ammunition in it, again?
Spence, let them say it's been made safe, Spence.
Scientists will inspect the firearm to establish whether it's a working gun.
Want a bag down here?
The wife of the suspect arrives home from the nightclub, followed by a neighbour.
I'll go through it, and then we'll make a decision then. But we'll need the boarding done. Even if we leave it with Mum, we've got to replace it.
You can tell me where the shotgun is, or what you know about a shotgun. It's not in this premises. No, it's not here, right. Now, I'd like you to tell me where it is.
It's at my dad's.
It's at your dad's?
Yeah, my dad's got a shotgun licence.
Has he?
Yeah.
And what sort of shotgun is it he's got?
It's a Lambert or a Landau.
What's normal standard size one, is it?
Yeah,
or
has it been
shortened
for clay pigeon shooting?
Yeah. How many barrels has it got?
2.
2 barrels. Side by side or under and over? Do you know what I mean by those expressions? Do you know what sort of shape is it? You don't know.
Off the top of my head, I mean, this is all a bit much at the moment.
And you say he's got a shotgun certificate, has he?
Yeah, my dad has.
Right, so what are the cartridges doing here then, if the shotgun's over there? All I'd like to say is that we want you to help us out, be truthful with us. I appreciate it's awkward for you, especially now you know we've already found a gun downstairs in your garage.
Well, that I don't know nothing about.
Right.
Not bad. Good one.
Are you pretty pleased, Dave?
Yeah, very much so.
You had a couple today where you were pretty disappointed in the...
Yeah, well, we were looking for one, expecting to find them and didn't, and here we are at the end of the day almost.
20 to 1
in the morning.
Haven't been on since 8 AM.
And that's a good result, successful result.
During the last 2 days, 27 people have been arrested and many thousands of pounds worth of drugs and suspected stolen goods have been recovered.
As soon as the gun's done, and they're done here, we literally just decant the garage, including the bag, as best as we can,
because we're looking for the ammunition and possibly another shotgun. And then we're done.
Good. Police one, bad guys nil.
The success of Thurrock Police has revived an old slogan: crime doesn't pay.
Hello, mate. It's only me. It's getting late, isn't it? Good news, we got a gun. Yes. Gonna be a bit later than this time, I find. I should think. No, I should be in about 2:30, something like that, maybe 3. All right. Okay, mate. No problem. Good result though. We might get a shotgun back as well. Yeah. Okay, mate. Yeah, no problem. See you later, man. Yeah, all right. Shut up, mate. Bye.
That was the last London documentary in this series.
Next Sunday in the new series of the...
Just tried to cover up what my mum had done.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Still more thrilling action to come here in Frontier City. The notorious Fin Gang will soon be riding into town.
Well, something to eat, is it?
Will you get your coat and come with us, Mr. Passmore?
I never done nothing. I was just helping Matthew out.
You murdered Ephraim Gardner. And Jonathan Riddle.
No.
You know what sodium chloride is, Mr. Passmore?
Hey?
It's salt. It's common salt. The difference between fresh water and seawater. And it was seawater we found in Jonathan Riddle's lungs. He was still breathing when you put him in the basin. Dying, perhaps. But you drowned him.
No.
You knew there was no love lost between Riddle and Gardner, didn't you? That's why you